Hey everybody, peace and blessings be upon you. It is your favorite talk show host, your favorite podcaster, Ms.Ash.B, and we are healing at the table. Let's go over the disclaimer right now. We are a faith-based broadcasting and life coaching company. All the content that you hear from this broadcast, we say take user discretion is advised. So all of the information is part of our beliefs and how we feel. This is not for you to depend on for medical any type of therapy advice. Please see your physician for that. And that's what we want to let you know. And then we're going to say a quick prayer before we move forward to the show. Father, in the name of Jesus, we come to you and we commit this show into your hands. Father, I commit my guest into your hands. Father, I pray that you touch him from the top of his head, God, to the soles of his feet. God, I pray that you continue to anoint him and give him the wealth that he so desires. Father, I pray that you give him strength and continue to keep him going in this path, oh God. And I pray over all of the listeners, those who are watching on YouTube, Facebook, and wherever you're watching from. Again, we want to shout out to all of our listeners and viewers from Africa, Mexico, Dubai, Brazil, all of you all, we thank you for watching us and tuning in every Sunday at 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we're going into the highlights of the weekend on today. So just buckle your seatbelt, y'all, because we're going to have a really good show on today. And I think you want to be able to get your pen, your paper, because he's coming to give us some knowledge from a man's perspective. So let's get into it, y'all. So this weekend, me and Miss Rich Girl Isaiah was out there enjoying ourselves. Her spring break was lit. In other words, what the young people say. We went to Ripley's, believe it or not. It was a really good experience. A lot of different activities there. So if you're looking for something that's family friendly, I would say take your kids there. We were in the location that we were located in Grand Prairie, Texas. So if you're looking for something fun to do, weekend, spring break, there you have it. It's Ripley's, believe it or not. And it was some interesting things that we were able to see and take part in on yesterday. The other thing too, guys, I have some sponsors that sponsored the show today, and we're going to go into the first sponsor on today. So we want to thank you, first of all, for being a sponsor and being a weekly viewer. You're a weekly partner. We appreciate you. And this product is a gentle cleanser for your face. And the product line is Beauty Glow Organics, Skin by Nicole. So if you're looking to purchase a product for your face that leaves your skin feeling clean and it doesn't feel caked down or heavy or irritation to the skin, I would say that you would find her on TikTok. Her name is Nicole Adingubai. If she's watching today, she can put the spelling of her last name because I listen, I can't spell the last name, okay? So it should be down there if you're looking or watching on YouTube. Again, the product line, Beauty Glow Organic, Skin by Nicole. And then we have another sponsor that sponsored the show today, and we're so happy about this one. This is the Taste or the tour, the Taste of Africa tour. If you are interested in traveling, going to Africa, Lagos is where they predominantly go. I would say that if you have not been out the country and you have not been to the motherland, you will want to reach out to this wonderful sister, Mariama. I can't say her last name either, but I'm telling you, you will want, this is an experience that you don't want to miss out on. Kids are also invited. They cover the Airbnb. They cover the tour guide while you're out there on site. So you're getting your activities covered on this. You can reach out to Mariana on TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, all of those locations. You can reach out to her. She's also helped people with their credit, and she's a realtor. So if you're looking for a home, she can tell you where she's predominantly working in and the area that she actually help people find homes. So I would say hit my girl up. Then last but not least, our heart is for Africa. We are definitely because that's where most of us, that's where we come from. That's the original motherland. And so Right Place Health is another partner where they're trying to eradicate all type of waterborne illnesses and diseases from Africa. So they're trying to get clean water, implement clean water in Africa. So if you want to be a part of that and you want to join hands and lock in on this assignment that God has placed on the people's heart to do, visit www.rightplacehealth.org. Dr. Mezi Okola is the founder of this organization. Without further ado, we're about to introduce our guests. We're about to bring in the police officer. Yes, y'all, the police. He's a real police officer. He does not play one on TV. He's really out there chasing the bad guys, arresting them. Not only is he a police officer, but he is a fitness trainer. He trained other people to be fit. He's a coach. He coached people when it comes to all manners of life. He's active in his community, and we're so happy to have him on our show today, Blessing Healing at the Table, Officer Prince Hill. We are so delighted to have you here. We have been trying to get you on this broadcast for the last 50 years, and you decided to say yes today. So we greatly appreciate you. I just want you to tell us who you are, Officer Prince Hill, and what you want us to know about you before we go into our interview today.
First of all, I'm just happy to be on here to give some advice. Anybody have any other questions as far as legal stuff at the end of this? I'll be willing to answer any other questions. You pretty much done said it all. I done did everything from fitness to being an active police officer to being a supervisor of police to training police officers, everything that you just mentioned. I done it all.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And we're just so happy that you're here. I know that you have a lot of insight. You have a lot of information that people need to know. I found you on TikTok, and I was intrigued by your content because it wasn't one-sided. It was not just for men. It was not just for women, and you're not being biased in any of their content. So I said, okay, well, let me further see what else is, guys. Is it something else to this person? And so as, we went to build, and even in some of our coaching calls, I have been really encouraged and uplifted because something you told me and that I want to just start out the gate with, when it comes to male-female relationship, that a lot of women go into it saying that this guy is going to be her friend. And so she put that out there on the line that, hey, I want to be friends. But men, you all are not looking to put a woman in the friend zone if you are attracted to her and a certain way. So we want to touch on that first out the gate because I remember telling you that I think that this is just an American men way of thinking. It's not for all other nationalities or ethnicity groups. It's only for our American black men. So please fill us in that this is straight across the board with all men, please.
Okay. Let me put it to you like this. For people who don't know me or don't follow me, Big Daddy has this one mindset when it comes to relationships. We all need each other. We don't need to have a bidding war, men and women pointing their finger at each other. We need each other. Who else you going to be dating, a giraffe? So I come from unbiased opinion because we all have our flaws. The difference is we both point the finger at each other and we all have something that aches us. It just, we talk about it in a different way, but it's all the same. Mm-hmm. When you break it down, it's all the same stuff. Nobody wants to be the bad guy. Everybody wants to make one gender look better than the other. And the reality is we all need each other. Mm-hmm. And that's just relatively simple. When it comes to male and female friendship, right, being platonic, right, mm-hmm. I done multiple videos on this topic. Yeah. Don't no man naturally want to be friends with no beautiful woman. That's just not how it works. Now, there are some exceptions to the rules, right? Like if you've been friends with this person since y'all were little bitty kids, y'all family grew up with each other, or you just know so much dirt on this person you're afraid to touch that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But when I made this video, there were several different women that chimed in into my comment section stating, he's right. Mm-hmm. My male best friend or my male friend for years didn't tell me he was in love with me till 15, 20 years later. And I said, yes, you got to realize a lot of men have a fear of rejection. There's a lot of men that are just moist, mm-hmm. that are not going to straight tell you how they feel about you. Wow. So they sit in things as the friends are, and they hope to pray one day they can pop out and one day get some of your banana pudding instead of just being a man from the very beginning. You tell a
Okay.
woman what you are, you let her know that you're attracted to her, and that's it. And a
Wow.
lot of times, these friendships start off as somebody trying to date you, and you threw him into the friend zone. So why would you think that his mindset has changed?
So what about when men do it? So if you, so I've seen an experience where a man would say, let's be friends first, because in order to have a healthy relationship with somebody, you have to be friends first because you want your partner to be your best friend. Am I correct?
Something on the line of that. Put it this way: if a man finds you attractive,
Mm-hmm.
in his opinion, it doesn't matter how you feel about yourself. If he looks at you and if you hit all the check marks of what he wants in a woman from the physical standpoint, the minute you open your mouth, he's not going to say anything about a friendship first. You're going to build up a friendship gradually through y'all constant communication and getting to know each other. Then you continue to move on from that point. We don't use that word like that. We only use that word as far as friend when it's somebody that we physically are not overly attracted to. You may be doable, but as far as being his woman and being the long-term plan, he might not necessarily see you as that. Male and female friendships are different. Men can have women friends, but still mess around with them in that department, if you get what I'm saying. When
Okay.
women put you in that friend zone, they typically keep you there. Every
Wow.
now and then you might pop out, but majority of the time you don't. Because there's something about you, they don't see you as to where you're not masculine enough, your money ain't right, you don't have the swag, the confidence in yourself. Women put men in the friend zone for a reason. They'll still communicate with you, they'll still talk to you on the phone because they're absorbing all that masculine energy, or they like all those compliments coming from you. But you're basically just wasting your time as a man.
Wow. So if a man is wasting his time being in the friend zone, so is a woman, because you just hit on it. You just said that if a man places a woman in the friend zone, that means that he doesn't deem her as attractive, or he doesn't see certain traits in her that he's looking for in a partner long term. Am I correct? Is that
But he'll give you the Paw Patrol and he'll eat your banana pudding. But as far as you being his woman, that's out of the question.
wow, y'all? Y'all
Unless,
hope y'all taking notes.
unless he just gets desperate one day. A lot of people end up settling because they don't have the confidence to go after the women or the men they want. But when you meet people with money or confidence, or people who already know they've been looking good their whole life, they're not going to settle. So when they put you in that friend zone, you're stuck there. Oh,
Mm.
we can go hang out, we can do the freaky hokey pokey. But as far as us being in a relationship, that's out of the question.
Oh my
And
God, y'all.
we'll tell you without telling you. We'll tell you these type of lines. Me and you meet each other. We hung out a little bit. I'm gonna tell you stuff like, I'm not looking for a relationship right now. I'm working on myself. Blah blah blah. We only
Mm-hmm.
say that to the women that we're not interested in like that. Same thing with y'all. When y'all meet a man of the caliber that y'all want, it ain't none of this. I need to delay stuff. Y'all keep jumping step to step to step to get into that relationship with that man. We only hold back with people we're not crazy about. And that's just the reality of the world that we live in.
Wow. Yeah, I'm speechless on that one, because I'm telling you, for years, I really thought that that was the end all be all when it comes to relationships. That men and women link up, and you're gonna put out in the gate that we're friends, and that's what it is. And 2 years ago, I met this guy, and I remember using the word friend, and then the man said to me, "No, I'm not looking to be your friend." So I thought it was something wrong with him because he said that. But then as I watch your content, as I see what you talk about, and I hear this stuff and it's repeated on your platform, and then I see where other people are also saying the same thing, that men are not looking for a platonic friend because what? They have cousins, they have sisters. That's what you
I
say.
a woman around me unless we date. You got sisters, you have cousins, you have friends and family members. Let me tell you why I made that video. That got like 400,000 views. The reason why I made that video, because I was talking to two different ladies, right, that was seeking me for coaching sessions.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about how their man didn't like their male friends, right? So I explained to them, I said, hey, those men are leeches. I'm looking at your pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Those men are attracted to you. They just not gonna tell you. But
Mm-hmm.
if you have too much of that 151 or that Jack Daniels Tennessee honey, and you slip and you fall on his meat, he ain't gonna push you off of it. Your man is not being insecure. He's telling you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those friends, they can't even come around your man because they feel uncomfortable because
Mm-hmm.
they know they lying.
Mm-hmm.
Know they lying. We can smell that on each other. We know the truth. I've never even opened my mouth and played those games with women. I've never been in the friend zone, and I would never allow myself to be in it. Because the minute you say the word friends, I'm going to correct you. I'm going to say, no, Stink. Big Daddy ain't your homeboy. I'm thinking about you naked right now, so you ain't talking to me.
You know what? My guest last week, a minister, and he said the same thing. He said he was not trying to stay in the friend zone, and if a woman put him in the friend zone, he's out because he's looking for the person that he wants. Like, don't put me there. Wow.
Then that should be much respect because he didn't waste your time lying about it.
Yeah, he said that.
Women want you to lie when they like to lie. There's a lot of women right now that don't want to ask their male friend nothing because they enjoy the fact of playing dumb like they don't know it. This man ain't up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning to change your flat tire because he want to be your friend. This man ain't on the phone with you cupcaking on the phone all night long because he want to be your homeboy. Now, come on now.
Wow.
What we live in? That's not how it works. Because you have men that are just sneaky. Then you have men that are moist. There are a lot of men that are afraid of rejection. I got 11 clients right now. 9 of them are women, 2 of them are men, and they both are afraid of rejection. Full-grown men. Wow. Afraid of rejection. And I said, what you need to be afraid of? These days, you need to have 1 or 2 things. The men in the middle are the one that's stuck. See this? This is the V. A lot of women, we're not talking about overall moral women, we're just talking about good-looking women in general, right? They like a man with money. If you got the, and you're willing to give it out, you can get a good-looking woman. It doesn't even matter if you look like a meatball with feet. If you got money and confidence, and a lot of times that money gives you confidence, you can holler at any pretty woman you want. Or you're on the other side, which means you're a good-looking man. So whether you're tall or you were born good-looking, those two are on top of the game. Now, the guys in the bottom, the ones at the very bottom of this crust, those are the men in the middle, right? Those are the men that suffer. Those are the men that typically fall into the friend zone or they moist. They don't get the girls. They fall down in the middle.
You got the producer laughing, Prince.
Huh?
The producer back here laughing. He liking what you're saying.
You know, I ain't like this. Any woman get on this platform, they can lie all they want to. Because, you know, I correct men and women all day. Man, you ain't about to lie to me. Well, people who don't know me, I've been an OG a long time. I'm 42 years old, right? Forgive me what I'm about to say because I know this is a spiritual-based platform. I'm a reformed thought, right? I used to be a thoughtist, right?
He said, come on. Tell the truth. Yes.
I'm a reformed thought, right? I'm 42 years old. I've been here a long time. Me going to school for behavioral science, all that adds up to this, right? But here's the big thing. These days, this is what women are looking for. Not necessarily the morally good women. Let me make sure I correct that. But if you just want a bunch of baddies, if you just want a good lineup, a good basketball team, you want of these 2 things. And the only reason why these men have confidence is because they have money. If you women, hey, look, I know I saw you drive up. You know, your tires looking kind of flat, baby. Big Daddy get you some good years, some Yokohamas. They going to smile. You got this BMW with no gas in this thing. When you got money and you willing to pass out, you can get women of any age. Or you good looking. You ain't got to have no money. If you got the looks or the body, you get the women too. A lot of these dudes in prison ain't got no money.
They don't.
They coming fresh out with swag and push-ups.
And we can't talk about the people who are working in the prison system that are risking their lives and their career to deal with an inmate. That's a whole nother show.
That's a whole nother show. I'm gonna say that for next time. But
okay.
Yeah, if you got the looks or the money, you good. Women don't like what's in the middle. They don't like the crust at the bottom of the pan. That's all it is. And like I said, at the bottom, that's where you fall with a lot of these friend zone guys. And they know it. They just hoping and praying one day too much tequila get them out the game.
Wow.
Valentine's Day, when their main man ain't available, you know, they can take you out on a date, or the holidays when you need a few extra dollars on them Christmas gifts for them kids, and your main man is with his family. Guess what? The moist man could fit in that gap. The friend zone me. We're dealing with a lack of communication. Every content creator talks about communication, and it's all bull crap because we don't communicate at all.
You're right.
When we go on these, everybody wants to get a vibe.
Yep. Come on.
Who cares? You done slept with 20, 30 people. You didn't vibe with 30 people. You need to have big boy conversations that we can get in a relationship and they will be able to sustain those relationships.
Exactly.
We don't talk about
No, and then we see on these apps where people are getting to a certain age and they still trying to have a good time, but they're not. And then they get later on in life, some of the women, they think back, oh man, I done did all of this hot girl summer activity. Now I'm ready to settle down. Now I'm ready to get somebody, but you got 25 kids and and I'm not saying that people can't get what they want. You can, but you have to think about this stuff while you're young so that you won't be dealing with this stuff in your older days. Because listen, yeah, that part. Go ahead.
I had a conversation on one of my lives recently, right?
Mm-hmm.
Me and Unpopular Truth and Enrich. She talks about breaking generational curses, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we good live, and Unpopular Truth brought up about a woman sleep with everybody and their mama, then being able to reform and change the way she do things, right? And I said, listen, this goes for men as well as for women. Mm-hmm. It doesn't switch off like a light switch like that. You have to put in the work to become a better person mentally. Yeah. Because a lot of people from bodies to bodies, from body to body, they are typically called runners. As soon as they relationship and they get shook up a little bit, things don't go their way, they typically bail out of the relationship and mess around with somebody else. Those are people that go from one relationship to another relationship relatively quickly. Why? They never follow the 5 steps to healing. They never understand the roles they played in the demise of their relationship. And I'm going to tell you something that's going to hit gold for y'all right now. Mm-hmm. The best men and women are the worst. Why? They never work on themselves because they have relied on their looks their entire lives. They know they're attractive, and there's always somebody to be the next victim. So they don't ever think, maybe it's just me, or maybe it's just me. No, it's you. You're the common denominator in all your relationships. If you're a good-looking woman today's day, there's no reason why you shouldn't be moved up in a relationship. Because a lot of us brothers will make our relationship work with you just because you look good, because you're a trophy. Man. Car, jewelry, and a good-looking woman. You take this good-looking woman out, all the other brothers, we talking to each other through telepathy. Man, you the man. I know I am. You see that? It's like a new car. So if you as a woman and you still can't sustain a relationship, you need to understand that neither you got too much bumpity bump or your feet stink. Something wrong with you because you ain't perfect. Same thing with us men. We all go through that. I was born with these looks. I'm in cute my life, right? And I know that. I ain't never had a problem getting a woman or getting a relationship with a woman. That's why men talk about women not spending no money on them. I can't relate. I ain't never been there. I've had women pay to have me fly out and take me on dates and buy me stuff. I don't know what y'all talking about. Big Daddy been getting took care of his whole life. So guess what? I can't relate to the problems y'all go through.
Wow.
So guess what? Creating.
Yeah. Yeah.
At a young age with one girl where everybody know me for being with her. Then when I finally got loose, because I was with that girl when I was a child, all the way till I became an adult, pretty much. So guess what I realized? There was different women, different sizes, shapes, colors. That was like a Pringle, you know? I couldn't eat just one. I was acting up. But once I realized this ain't the life I want to live, because I always had a spiritual background. I was raised Roman Catholic, right? So I always believed in marriage. I just took a very long break doing things I ain't had no business. And thanks to the grace of God, I walked out of it with no cooties.
And you know what? You are self-aware. So a lot of people are not being self-aware. The thing is, in order for you to correct any behaviors that you're having, you have to be aware of what you're doing. People can tell you all day, you're doing this and you're doing that wrong. But if you don't see it, there's no changing going to take place. So people, I hope that you're listening, taking heed to this and taking notes or whatever you need to do, because this is real life situations where people do live their life whoring around and then they end up on their deathbed because they had so much fun. They didn't take care of themselves and now they're depleted and have nothing to show for it except for, oh, I had all the girls, or I had all the dudes, and oh, all of my bills got paid. But none of that matters when you're sick. None of it.
Because guess what? It's going to creep up on you fast. One day you playing basketball in the gym. One day you getting a colonoscopy.
Exactly.
You go from have a good blood pressure to have some doctor put his thumb up your butt.
Woo.
Time go by.
It goes by fast.
You have to be able to have self-awareness
yes.
and understand how to get better. Because guess what? Y'all worried about COVID. There's other stuff that's still out.
Come on.
Guys have not went away. They ain't found a cure for none of this.
Come
You
on.
still got the numbers. You still got that Magic Johnson out here.
Mm-hmm.
And you got some stuff right now. If you wake up in the morning, your stuff gonna look like a Star Crunch.
Oh my
So
God.
what you're doing and understand that.
Yeah, you're
But
right.
and I feel bad for women more than anybody. Most of my following, I have 92,000 followers currently on TikTok, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have a 92% female following. And I tell women all the time, listen, y'all can have an attitude, but Big Daddy's trying to tell you, you have a disadvantage when it comes to the dating game.
Mm-hmm.
You need to understand. So you keep letting Sukiana and all these girls tell you what to do. They got their money.
They do.
You need to understand. You're in the biggest fight ever. Because if I go on a date with 10 women, 9 or 10 of them gonna want to be in a relationship with me, but depending on how that day goes. Them women will go as far as I want to lead them. As a woman, you don't have that option. You go on 10 dates, 8 of them want your banana pudding only. One of them got a wife already, and one of them might be serious. But social media has made it to where everybody thinks they have options. There are too many options mean you have no options at all.
That is really good too. I believe I got that from you where people have so many options, they don't know which to select. And a lot of times, and from what I see, is men. You all have like this pool of women that you feel like you can select. But even if you do have that pool of women, a lot of them women ain't doing right. They're not wives. They don't take care of their kids. They want your money and only your money, and they want to use you. They don't want to partner with you, even though I do believe, and that brings us to doing about the 50-50 thing I wanted to talk about. But that brings me to that because even though a man is a provider, you don't want nobody that has no substance, that does not show any ability of work ethic, any type of drive. Like, who wants that? So even though I know you gonna take care of your woman. I don't try to go on TikTok and get in his inbox, but I know that you will do that. I know you are a provider. But how do you deal with those women that's coming to you? You said leeches that want to take only, but I don't know if you get that. But if you did, how would you deal with that? And then let's talk about 50-50.
As a man, you have to go out to understand you're looking for substance. You need to go out there and looking for quality and not quantity. And a lot of us still don't do. We go out here and we look at this beautiful woman. When I tell people go out in the dating game, right? I tell men and women the exact same advice because you know that. I don't bend the advice.
Yes.
You take out paper, right? Don't date no 100 people at one time. That date them all, sis, is for retards. I don't know who came up with that.
Told y'all that last week.
Because you can't build up a strong rapport with somebody when you're dating a whole basketball team and you're going to miss a key detail about one of the people because you're talking to too many people.
Exactly.
Most people, human attention span ain't that good. So how you going to juggle 8, 9 people?
Come on.
People, you got 1 and 2 people, pushing 3. So when you take your list out, you only put people on the list that meet your qualifications, your basics. Say, for instance, if you want men with no kids, if you want men that have a legitimate career, right? Not nobody mixtape at 50. So you got this list, men with no kids, men with a career, and say you got men between the ages of, say, 35 and 45, right? This is these 3 types of men. The only men you need to be dating are those 3 types. And the only men you need to be interviewing.
Come on.
When you're conducting interview process, that's what dating is. You're interviewing for a position of need. So you got these 3 types of men. Don't you be adding nobody to the list with 2, 3 kids when you just said you didn't want none. Because he looked good.
Yep.
He got the fresh beard on his face. He got that fresh beard dye, that coconut bean. It's looking like Jesus. Oh, let me add him to the list. He got 7 kids. Didn't you just say you didn't want nobody with no kids? So you already messing up. Only date on your list.
Yes.
What your guidelines or your boundaries or your preferences are. We call that the non-negotiables, right?
Absolutely.
These are the men I want. Don't add nobody.
Absolutely.
And stick with 1, 2, and pushing 3 people because you're interviewing for a position of need. When you apply for that job, about 10 applicants. When you apply for your normal job, same thing with the dating game. And constantly communicate. Don't be going on no date as soon as you exchange the number. You don't even know this person. Just because you got Tyrone number on Monday means you need to be going skydiving and going to Panera Bread on Tuesday. You need to get some time in between to know who this person is. You know why? Times are dangerous.
It is dangerous, and you deal with those calls all the time, where we see women who have went quickly, move really fast with this man, and then now as a police officer, you're coming to the rescue of this woman, and hopefully she's still alive. That he haven't unalived her.
I gave a whole video that's still circulating on the safety tips while dating. And the last point of my video that I made, I saved it for the best for last. I wanted y'all to watch the whole video, and I saved the best for last because I listened to the other creators, right? The majority of them are cycling the same information.
They are.
Their tone, but they're saying the same thing. And you know, as soon as I hear too many of the same thing, I'm going the total opposite. One of the things I talked about is when you're going on a date as a woman, you need to make your dates at a respectable time. If you're going on a date Monday through Thursday, because people go to work the next day, the streets get real quiet in large cities, and that give a lot of opportunity for bad things to happen. You need to go on respectable times between the hours of 4 and 7 if you're dating Monday through Thursday. Don't be going out 10, 11 o'clock at night on a Monday or Tuesday with somebody you do not know. And I'm not just telling y'all for this for a reason. I'm not just blandly saying this. Because as a police officer, we have data points, statistics for everything. You'll be amazed at the things that happen. We know the times, the high crime times and everything. So I tell you, hey, Monday through Thursday, you need to make them dates respectable. Don't be out all late.
Wow.
Now, Saturdays are different. Same thing kind of goes with Sunday because most people have to go to work on Monday if people got real jobs. So when you go on dates, don't be going all late with this guy because you don't know him.
I agree.
Once you get a little bit better, then you can start picking away at the surface. Like, for instance, most jobs these days are paying pretty decent salaries. People don't want to admit it because don't nobody want to have a job, right?
They want to be creators.
When you meet a full-grown man in his 30s and he's not set in his career, you might need to find out this man got a criminal record because that's the only thing that can be hindering him. Or you meet somebody from out of town, you know, he's moved here from another state. Oh, did your job transfer you over? Oh, no, I just wanted a different life. Nah, something wrong with this picture. Y'all need to start looking very carefully into these men, especially the ones, because a lot of these men have very domestic violence background or they're registered sex offenders.
Wow. And you know what? They find out when it's too late, when the man has messed with the daughter or the son, and now you looking crazy and shocked. But
I already know, because I'm going to tell you why. When we go to your house to interview you for a domestic violence call of service, right? We've established offense have taken place. We always interview the victim, which a lot of times the victim is more of the women, right?
Okay.
We interview the victim, also the reporting party, right? And a lot of them already had a history of assaults before this even happened. They always have a history of cheating, or they always have a history of already physically assaulting them in the past.
So you're saying that that's not their first time?
That's not their first time.
Okay.
They already be knowing it. Or they go on a date and they brag about it. Man, I done about 3 years at Sing Sing. You know, I was at the justice unit for 6 months because, I'm cool. I was locked up. They be knowing this already. Every now and then you meet somebody who will say, well, I had no clue, which typically I don't believe them anyway. But they be knowing. They just feel like they can change.
Wow. Okay, so moving on from that. So basically he's saying, and this is coming from a police officer, no opinions, just all facts, that there are signs, warning signs that people see, and that instead of taking heed to those signs, you ignore, and that's not healthy for you or for your children. So what about these men out here saying 50-50? They want women to go 50-50.
Okay, here's the thing. It depends on the dynamic of your relationship. I never heard of 50-50 until I got onto TikTok. For people who've been following me long enough, I had a fitness platform on Instagram originally. I was known for fitness and training. I didn't start getting into TikTok until like 2 years ago, right? I never heard of 50-50 until then. It's based on the dynamics of your relationship, whatever make y'all feel comfortable. Because if you're in love with each other and y'all both feel like I got each other's back, y'all not going to worry about who's paying what bills as long as the bills get paid. It's based on your relationship. But now it's being talked about because a lot of us are only looking up to what we see out of celebrities, which is weird. So when women talk to me about that topic alone, I give them some statistics, right? Because a lot of us men go by the numbers. Right. And what do the numbers? It says 72% of married women in America have a job. 72%. The cost of living, You have not received a cost of living increase to add up to how much we're paying to live to these days to pay our rent.
Right.
So I definitely believe that two incomes is better than one. But if you can afford to pay all the bills as a man, that's on you.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. But I don't want to hear you crying as a woman, say you can't find a good man years later when you had a good man, but you were complaining about how much money he was making or how much money he was spending.
Absolutely. I feel like this. Yes, a man is a provider. However, if a woman sees her man drowning, I believe she's supposed to help. However, we have women out here that brag about it on social media that they're not helping with anything. And I think that that's disgusting. And I look at the guy, I'm sure that the man had signs that she was not a helpmeet to him. He went on because she was beautiful. He went on because she had a big butt. Whatever the case he was looking at. What you got to say about that, sir?
That's immaturity. I just said it a minute ago. A lot of men want these good-looking women as a trophy instead of having some kind of confidence in themselves. Why do you need somebody to validate who you are as a man? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of good women out here in the world. That's the advantage that we have over women. A man can find a wife at 40 or 50 or 60 years old. He didn't want that pretty girl at Kroger's because she was built like a bell pepper. That's why he didn't want her. That's all there was to it. That's it. I'm just saying, a lot of times men can meet amazing women, but she wasn't fine enough or she wasn't pretty enough. That's the advantage that we have as men, unfortunately. And those men are... Because my attitude is this. Mm-hmm. When you go on, we're supposed to have real life conversations.
Yes.
The things that we talk about on podcasts, the things we talk about on social media, are the things that directly influence or things that directly impact our relationships, right?
Absolutely.
So why am I having these conversations while on the date? Instead of lying and putting on our best front to see if we can get along.
That's why the
stage of dating is trash.
It is.
Y'all both lying. Y'all both up and down lying, putting on your best show, your best acting job to try to impress this other person. Then once y'all both start exchanging fluids, you get comfortable. And you start letting each other know how you really feel about things. Mm-hmm. I have never used the approach. I'm going to tell you how I feel about you from the minute I meet you and what's my expectation.
Come on.
Because I'm not wasting.
Come on. I feel the same way. I believe that people should set those boundaries, those standards, at the very first date. If you do not set it at the very first date, you're setting yourself up for failure because like you said, once those fluids are exchanged, now everybody is all in love. Well, not the men, it be the women. And then she should have said something day one. Oh, I don't like this about you. Oh, I like to have conversations over the phone. I don't like for somebody to just text me all the time. But no, you wait till the fluids get the going and now you want to say what you don't like. It's too late.
Yeah, because, I give women and men the exact same advice.
Mm-hmm.
When I told this young lady about this guy, 2 weeks ago, I said, ma'am, I want you to really think about this. So you met this man who was perfect. Mm-hmm. He's perfect, right? I said, why was he single when you met him if he was perfect? She cried. I said, he's 38 years old, making top dollar. He ain't got no kids. You think he ain't got no exes? Why would you think that he's perfect? Mm-hmm. If he was perfect, he would already have a wife before you. He would already have a woman before you. Mm-hmm. I said, you just met him. Give it some time. I always believe in, not necessarily, I don't want to be petty when I say this, but you harp on conversations with this person that that will probably irk them. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to arguments, but you want to see how people deal with this type of conversation.
Absolutely.
Everybody's cool and relaxed. But when you bring up things that there are a strong disbelief in, you can see how arguing, you can see exactly how well this person controls their emotions.
Absolutely. And if they can't.
Jealousy issues. You find out a lot of people when they're not happy. Mm-hmm. Smiling is good. You need to find out what is this man flaw. Yeah. Because he's not perfect. Same thing with a woman. You meet a beautiful woman, men are in her inbox, men are flirting with her all day long. Mm-hmm. You meet a woman who's been actively dated. Not no woman who took 10 years away from dating to climb the mountains to talk to Jesus. I'm talking about that woman who's been in these streets actively dating, and she's beautiful. Mm-hmm. Ever received a ring. Never even been offered a ring. Mm-hmm. You need to set close attention. Mm-hmm. You're going to find out. It's not by accident. Regardless of what comes out of her mouth, she's the common in all her relationships. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Reason why Tatiana is single. or she cannot sustain a relationship.
And I like when you say that. And the part that I really enjoy is if she's been dating, actively dating, because you differentiate the two. When you have an active person who's out there dating, they're meeting different people, getting different personalities, they have that experience, and then you have somebody like me. I'm not a serial dater. I do date people, but I don't date like heavy like that. So I remember talking to somebody, and they were telling me how it's just how you think, where it's something up with the person. If you've been out here dating, but I had to let them know at that time that I wasn't actively dating like that. So yeah, I have flaws. I'm not perfect, but whatever box you want to put me in, I'm not that either. So
Yep.
that's really good. And I like when you say that. We're about to open up the phone lines, and people may have some questions for you. They may have dating questions. They may want to find you on TikTok for coaching or even legal questions they may have. Guys, the phone number is on the screen, 469-708-8609. If you want to call and ask Officer Prince Hill any questions, feel free. But yeah, I everything that you're saying, I'm in a total agreement with, because people are just lost out here in this day and time that we're living in, and they just doing the most.
They know what to do. They just don't want to do it.
Why
People
is
know
that?
when it's done. It's just that they're so used to being comfortable doing things the wrong way. We don't like. We talk about change, but we really don't. We talk about change all the time, but people really don't like change because they're comfortable because they've been successful with what they've been doing. If you're a good looking brother, you're used to picking up all the women in the clubs, bars, and restaurants, getting their phone number, doing the hanky panky. Same thing with a pretty woman. You may not got no ring, but you getting what's the word now? You're getting flued out all over the country. Getting purses. You getting everything. Some of them even getting children, but
Yeah.
you ain't got his last name.
No. And they
You
think
don't
that's
have
a flex.
you his baby mama, but you don't got his ring. But what it hurts our ego. It's not me. It's because they're not ready. He's a little boy. He's not ready for a real woman. Or she's out here looking for validation. She just got looks. She not trying. No, sometimes you need to understand it's you. And
Absolutely.
every time you see somebody that's wise enough to say, hey, it's me. My
Absolutely.
got on TikTok, multiple women wrote in my comment section saying this. Well, you handsome. I know. No. Yeah, I'm handsome, but yeah, I was a thought too. Yeah, I'm not gonna make up no fantastic lie and say, well, I never met the right woman. What? Any man say that is a liar. We meet good women all the time.
Wow.
All the every time we go somewhere, we meet a quality good woman. Just say she wasn't fine enough for me, or she wasn't in it enough for me, or she didn't make enough money for me. Say that. Just like an egg sandwich. That's why you ain't want to be with her.
Oh,
Keep it a buck.
they
That's all
can't
it
do
is.
that. They can't do
Huh?
it. They won't do that. They won't keep it 100. They won't.
They don't. And then when we go on these dates, your producer gonna laugh at this. When then we go on these dates, we had these retarded conversations, right? That drive me crazy.
Yeah.
Every time I hear questions, I lose my mind. I almost log off of TikTok. You two full-grown adults over 30 years old. Why are y'all asking each other this? What's your favorite color? We ain't matching every day. I'm not buying a bunch of burgundy outfits to match you anyway. I don't
Come
care what
on.
your favorite color. What we wear matching pajamas? This ain't Christmas. What's your 5-year plan? You over 30. If you ain't got your 5-year plan by now, you ain't hit it. You ain't gonna hit it.
Come on. Come on.
You over 30. Talking about your 5-year plan. What you need to be asking is, what company you gonna get to bury you? What's your life insurance policy?
We got a phone call, Prince Hill. Hey, you live on the air, Healing at the Table with Officer Prince Hill. What's your question for the officer?
Hi, this is Enrich. I called in to ask Mr. Prince Hill if he could give some good questions for vetting on a first date.
Vetting. They want to know about vetting. What questions should they ask if they're going on a date with somebody? And that's a woman.
When you go on a date with somebody, I'm gonna say this. The same way law enforcement question you when you have committed a criminal offense, or we assumed you committed a criminal offense, we'll ask you a series of questions right off the muscle that you don't anticipate to throw off your OODA loop to see if you're going to lie. Then we ask them same questions multiple times in a variation of different ways to see if you switch up your answers. So some of the first thing I ask people is, which they get irritated by is, hey, this whole entire time that you have been single and all the relationships that you've been in, I said, let me ask you a question. What do you think you need to work on as a woman? I ask them that quickly. I don't wait till the middle of the date. Ask her relatively early. Hey, man, what's the things you think you need to work on as a person to better your relationship? Or what is something that a bunch of your exes have all stated about you? And have you worked on any of those things? And ladies, this sounds stupid, but you need to ask a lot of brothers because they don't. If you have spiritual awareness, if you believe in Jesus, y'all need to ask that question.
Yeah. Yeah.
How you gonna marry someone who don't believe in marriage?
Yes. Yes. Oh.
And never asked them.
That is sad.
How do you not ask that? Do you believe in Jesus? Do you believe in marriage? Period.
Wow.
What work? That's so stupid. But asking about colors and what their favorite food is, like every restaurant don't have an alternative menu anyway. Because we're not trying to find out, is this person compatible? Yeah. We're trying to drink and vibe.
Yeah, and I think that's crazy because you said that in the beginning about that vibing.
Yes, what do you need to work on, young lady? What a better person in general? Not necessarily dating for me. What would make you a better person? What is something in your life you always needed to work on? Do you actually believe in God? Does that play an intricate role in our relationship?
Yeah.
Or the relationship that we get in? The questions that we have fights about on social media, we don't ask them on dates.
No.
Hey, you know social media is a big thing these days, right? Why y'all don't ask questions about that?
Yes, like how, okay.
How do you feel about a man that how do you feel about a man that follows a bunch of women?
Yes,
do you feel like the opposite sex on social media? Do you think about posting your partners? Stuff like we miss all of that.
Yeah.
But we want to talk about sending each other nudes, though.
Yeah. Oh, they quick to do that.
That's the most personal thing you can do with somebody. But we can't ask no questions about your grandma?
Come on. Oh, my God. Yes. You telling the truth right now. Do they take care of their kids? Bring up child support.
Have you been arrested, sir? Before I even have to look you up. Be honest. Keep it real. How long you been...
Come on, I hope they write notes. I hope they taking notes.
Look, does anybody think you're not single?
Come on, yeah.
If I was to pack a bag up right now and come to your house, would it be a problem?
Wow, that's good.
And I'm gonna say this why, especially on my mind, because it drives me crazy. Because I see a lot of creators tell women this, as well as men. When you're fresh out of a relationship, regardless if you know for a fact this person left you or you did not feel like you did enough things wrong to be left, you still need to take time, be self-aware, and reevaluate yourself and find out how could you have been better in your relationship.
Yeah.
And you need to take time away from dating. If you're dating somebody fresh out of a breakup, you are doing yourself a disservice and that other person. You're wasting that person's time. Money we can get back.
Time.
We can't get time.
Come on.
Me spending $100 buying you half of a camel or buying you some whale meat on dinner, I get that money back. You ain't gonna give me back my time.
No.
3, 4, 5, 6 months. You're not giving me back my time, right? Work on yourself. You are not ready to date. Women will tell each other to do this. It is a setup.
It is.
Because you're busy trying to get over your old boo.
Yes.
You're gonna miss important details of your new boo.
Absolutely.
You left him, you're mad, then you got in the bed with a serial killer.
Oh my God.
Or you got 2 wives and a boyfriend. Paying attention to nothing.
Yep.
Can I ask women, hey, did your last boyfriend physically assault you? No. Your last boyfriend a serial cheater? No. So why you left? Oh, I know why. Those dudes in your comment section kept telling you they was gonna give you a soft life, a soft life, right? This man actively been single, but he's telling you all the right things, and you're thinking this is a dream. The grass is not always green on the other side of the fence.
That's absolutely true.
That grass got doo-doo in it. It's doo-doo in that grass.
Fake grass also.
That doo-doo, they got doo-doo in that grass. You see that grass? They got doo-doo and you ain't got no shoes on, stink.
Oh.
So if you have a loving relationship with this man loves you or that woman loves you, y'all need to work through it. But once again, I said this from the very beginning. Social media itself has literally destroyed relationships, especially in my community.
Absolutely.
It gives you such false narrative, it's ridiculous.
Absolutely. Before we go, we are wrapping up at the end. I want you to touch on child support real quickly. That's another hot topic. Also, just share your quick testimony and what you think men should do when it comes to child support.
First of all, I made a video about this too. Ladies, if your man on back child support, you meet a man on back child support, walk away. If you meet a man on back child support, you need to walk away. That man is a hindrance. When I had my kids, the first thing I did was file child support. And the mothers they did not want me on child support. I filed child support on myself. You know the main reason why? When I meet that woman I want to marry, I didn't want her to get in their feelings, which I didn't know that. I'm just saying hypotheticals. They might have gotten their feelings and wanted to file back child support on me. If you file child support, you know you're not doing right. You already know you're not gonna be with that woman. I don't know why y'all be playing dumb. The minute you have this baby, and you know that's yours, which I always tell people get some DNA. You need to file child support on yourself to protect yourself, protect your future spouse.
Absolutely.
Because guess what? At child support, you marry this woman, and she goofy enough to marry you without knowing your status. It's gonna cost her money. Fellas, if you're on back child support, I'm telling you. You need to stick to the guns, get your money right, get your child support squared away before you get in any relationships. Because when you're on back child support, the state don't tell you how much money they're gonna take. When you're on current child support, you know exactly how much money coming out. You can work as much overtime you want, get you some side money. The government don't take your money. In the state of Texas, it's 20% for one child. When you have 2 kids, without back child support, you already know it's 17% per child. When you're on back child support, I don't know how they come up with these numbers. They can charge you whatever they want to charge you. You're in the hands of the state now. So what you need to do is, if you're on back child support, you need to get your money together. And ladies, I don't care how good that man looks. If that man on child support, you need to walk away. Back child support.
And he's clear. He said back child support, meaning they are in debt to back child support.
You don't need to take that man serious. You don't need to have no kids with him. You don't need to get married to him. If he tells you he's on back child support, you should already know in your mind as a woman what you need to be doing. Walk away or just do what you do. But I don't advise having kids. I don't advise marrying because he's a hindrance. It's going to cost you some money.
Wow.
His all messed up. You're going to have to sell dinners and bean pies like a funeral to build money up. Like, no.
Oh my goodness. And what do you think? And this is my last question. And then after I ask you this question, your answer, tell them how they can reach you. But my last question is, when a man or whoever the absent parent is, the mom or the dad, if they're on child support, they're actively paying, should they pitch in for extra things that the kid need? Medical insurance, just whatever, because you know the absent parent is doing less. So what do you have to say about that?
I've been on child support for 15 years, and I've always given extra money to my kids' mothers. You know why? Because I never had to miss work for the kids. I never had to do those things. They had to miss work because the kids were sick. I'm able to get as much overtime as I want because I'm the non-custodian. I have access to get more money. So I don't complain about sending them more money, which I've always done. Regardless of me paying all this money in child support, they need it, I send it. Those are my kids. If they need it, send it.
Wow.
That's just how, because fellas, you want to be real, we getting off cheap. No, I mean, I say, guys, whoever the non-custodial parent is getting off cheap.
Yes.
Kids, her, getting up, going to school, you still in the bed snoring. You can stay over. There's so many things you can do when you're the non-custodial parent. The custodial parent has to think about a lot of things, even when they're dating.
Yep.
And if you have a career like mine, I don't get all those holidays off. I don't get months off. So a lot of times, I don't even be having them like that. I got to get them every other weekend, on breaks of school. The mom got to put them in extra daycare. I just send the money because I'm getting off cheap.
Wow. And on that note, that is, thank you for sharing that. People need to hear that. But Officer Prince Hill, how can they contact you, reach out to you?
Y'all can hit Big Daddy up on TikTok or Instagram. The name is still the same. It's Mr. Royal on TikTok as well as it is on Instagram.
Say your name again for the people in the back.
It should be Mr. P. Royal. Same
Okay.
name on Instagram, same thing on TikTok.
Any underscores?
I got 91,000 followers on TikTok. I'm low vibration on Instagram. I'm trying to build my Instagram up. I'll be there one.
So y'all follow him on IG and TikTok. P Royal. Is it any underscores? Or just P Royal?
Yeah, once you put in Mr. P. Royal, it'll pop up.
Okay.
I got a couple videos going viral right now, so.
Okay. Well, we thank you so much for blessing Healing at the Table. It has been a wonderful conversation with you today. Thank you for your insight and your wisdom and knowledge. We enjoyed you today, and be blessed.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all.
Absolutely. So thank you all for watching today. We're out, and have a good night. Bye.